Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra here with your happy news. Gardeners, the Desert Botanical Garden is not only known for its beautiful views and variety of Arizona plants, but also for their dedication to the research and conservation of desert plants. And an important part of that conservation team are two adorable four-legged helpers who use their noses to help researchers locate and conserve rare and endangered desert plants. Circe and Muon are two very smart and very sweet rescue dogs who have been specifically trained to sniff out endangered desert plants like the rare Canelo Hills Ladies Orchid, which is an endangered plant that grows in the southern portion of Arizona. The plant was first listed on the endangered list in 1997, and recent research has shown that its most significant threats to its population are loss of habitat, pollinator decline, drought, and climate change. The plant's short flowering period makes it difficult for humans to locate by sight, but the dog's noses are a much more powerful location tool, and they love to use it. The two dogs have recently embarked on a trip to northern Arizona with the team, hoping to find more of this rare orchid and other endangered cacti so the researchers can harvest the seeds and take them back to their seed lab, where they're studied and grown by scientists to help multiply their population, ready the plants for relocation back to their habitats, and aid in the overall study of protecting Arizona's unique ecosystem, Brian.
Wow, I had no idea they were doing that. That is so spectacular, and I'm glad that those dogs are in good hands and they're not out to people just trying to, pillage these plants from their habitat. Once many moons ago, I was given a book called The Orchid Thief, which I just really enjoyed reading on an airplane. And it's wonderful how orchids can even grow here in our desert. I didn't realize they did. Thanks for the story.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that those dogs are in good hands and nobody's out pillaging those orchids and that they're just taking the seeds. Wonderful stories, Xandra.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I thought it was so cool that they're able to train them to literally sniff out specific plants.
And it's just fantastic
cool.
that you exposed it to us, And so that's a great story. And it sounds like some fantastic work, and that is just our true treasure we have here in our communities, the Desert Botanical Garden. If you haven't been there, folks, you got to go see it. And the weather's nice. You can go see it. Today would be the perfect day to be at the Botanical Garden.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra here with your happy news. Gardeners, tomorrow is Veterans Day, and as we honor those who served, one organization in Arizona has been reaching out to veterans by making sure they have community support and, most of all, a safe place to live. Veterans encounter unique and complex challenges as they transition from military to civilian life, including, but not limited to, obtaining services such as housing, employment, education, and healthcare. But Habitat for Humanity offers a helping hand by providing pathways to home ownership, ownership assistance, and assistance with much-needed home repairs. Habitat for Humanity also helps veterans by connecting them to a community of volunteers and by offering a home construction training program to help them re-enter the workforce. In celebration of this year's Veterans Day, Habitat for Humanity's volunteers repaired the home of disabled Navy veteran 71-year-old Brian Wallace, who suffered a stroke in 2017, leaving him unable to do home repairs. On Friday, he and his wife Carmen were left speechless as they watched with gratitude while volunteers arrived at their Phoenix mobile home to do critically needed repairs like a fresh coat of paint, re-skirting, and most of all, replacing their leaky roof. This was all part of an ongoing initiative to address veteran mental health through housing stability and providing critical home repairs across the valley. Brian, we love serving those who served.
You know what? That's an unbelievable story. We have so many people who have helped us so much, and this country wouldn't be this country without the veterans that serve and protect us every day. And, we just been through an election period of time where lots of different ideas, and I'm sure a lot of veterans voted on both sides of different issues and for different reasons, but we can never forget them and the service that they provide to us and the protection that we have in here and we share. And, it's some people want to, downgrade the veterans and downgrade the government, talk about things they do that oftentimes waste money in this. But, when we saw the Secretary of Defense talk to the Russians the other day, you're so proud to be an American. And because we have these veterans and lots of my friends, and I have lots of friends that, have lots of different ideas and thoughts, and as diverse as this country. And what's really beautiful is that we can work together, but without the protection of our government and the veterans working together as a team and us supporting them, we won't be here next year. We'll be happy to support all veterans today. And usually don't do it, but I'll tell you what we'll do. For all veterans today. Now, this is a one-day only thing, guys, but 10% off for all veterans that show up at Whitfield's today, because we will be open, and just to honor you and your service.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra, here with your happy news. Gardeners, the season of giving is just around the corner, and while you may have seen decorations go up already, many would say it truly kicks off with Thanksgiving. As we're all shopping in preparation for our first holiday gathering of the season, consider those who may need some help by donating a meal to St. Mary's Food Bank this year. Every year, St. Mary's asks for donations of turkeys, holiday food, or cash to help everyone in the valley have a happy holiday. But this year, they're around 12,000 turkeys short of what they expect to need for valley families. Last year, St. Mary's distributed more than 21,000 turkeys and holiday food produce boxes to families across Arizona. And this year, that goal is higher, estimating a need for around 23,000 turkeys to fulfill demand. And this need is much higher now this week and in the next week and a half to approach the holiday. If you want to donate a turkey or other holiday-related foods, St. Mary's accepts donations during normal business hours at their locations in Phoenix and Surprise, or simply a $20 online donation will help put a Thanksgiving turkey on the table for families in need. If you prefer in-person donation events, join them on Saturday, November 23rd at over 20 partnered Albertsons and Safeway locations all over the valley, or at any St. Mary's Food Bank location from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., as the employees and volunteers there will be collecting donations for their annual Super Saturday Turkey Drive. This week, the happy news could be you, gardeners, by donating a meal and making the holidays a little brighter for families across Arizona. Brian?
St. Mary's Food Bank's always had a special place in my heart. Whenever I was young and I was running the fruit stand with my grandparents, and I started selling oranges at 5, so I was a good dumpster diver. And back in those days, we didn't recycle cardboard. So I would go into dumpsters and would bring all the boxes out. When we'd sell our citrus, we would put it in these boxes. Well, I would find all kinds of cases of damaged food in there, and then pretty amazing amounts. And so we would bring stuff home and give it away and stuff. And then St. Mary's Food Bank is a little younger than I am and came along. And it was really the first food bank to start that system in the United States. And they've done a wonderful job. And now they have a whole network of food banks throughout the world that supply food. And the grocery stores do a tremendous thing, supplying a lot of the canned food, damaged food, out-of-date food that goes to the food banks. And we have a special place in our heart with Whitfield Nursery, because in our citrus, we have a lot of navel oranges, especially this year, that get sunburned on one side. While the navels are still pretty tasty, there's a little dry spot. And in our friends at our local stores like Whole Foods and Safeway and Albertsons and the guys over at the Basha stores, they can't really market those. So we send those to the food bank. And what makes it kind of even more special is that they can take those citrus, because we run them through our packing shed and trade them for other food. So it will send, oranges that go to the St. Mary's Food Bank that will then end up in Chicago or Idaho, and they'll trade for potatoes. So this food bank network is really special. And if you happen to be around home and not working, maybe retired or something, they always need lots of volunteers. And, what a wonderful thing to go do for a day. And, we think about it more this time of year, because of the holidays and Thanksgiving and things. But these food banks, they're very active year round. They're a huge part of our community. And the outreach and things they do are fantastic. And it all started right here in Arizona with St. Mary's Food Bank.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra, here with your happy news. Gardeners, there's a symbiotic relationship that's saving crops in Kenya. and it's between farmers and one of the world's hardest working pollinators, the honeybee. A symbiotic relationship happens when a close interaction between two different species benefits them by providing essential things like shelter, nutrients, or protection from predators. In this case, honeybees are saving crops from being trampled by the world's largest land animal, the elephant. As successful elephant conservation programs occur, this means there's more elephants around in Kenya, which is great for their population, but poses a challenge for farmers. While elephants are not traditionally considered a predator, to plants their size alone is a threat. This leaves many farmers to live in fear that at any moment during their growing season, an elephant could come storming in to trample all over their livelihood. This is where beehive fences have come to the rescue. They have discovered that by lining the perimeter with beehives hanging on wire, elephants are scared away by the hum noise that comes from the 70,000 plus bees. Even if an elephant is brave enough to investigate the noise, the shaking of the wire disturbs the bees into a frenzy, which would alert any nearby farmers. The charity Save the Elephants is working with farmers in Kenya to help turn them into beekeepers. This way, beekeeping is used as a way to enrich communities, but also to dissuade community members from poaching, while also naturally deterring the elephants. Brian, I love to see a natural solution that brings mutual happiness and harmony for both nature and farmers alike.
Well, Xandra, you come up with some pretty wonderful stories, but I think this is the best.
Oh.
You know, it really shows how people can work together with animals, and we can all work with nature to, it's really special.
Yeah.
It's kind of
We can always find ways to make it work with nature.
And I knew there had to be some good size to this Africanized bees because, you know, we have the Africanized bees here now and they're so aggressive. But
Yeah.
I can really see how it makes absolute sense. And it's a wonderful idea. I don't know which farmer out of necessity decided to keep the elephants away. But boy, what a great plan.
Yeah.
I think it's really super. And just leave it to Xandra to find some way to help save the world, you know. Well, she didn't find the idea, but at least she enlightened us.